Hey everybody, welcome back to Digi6 Cover. Appreciate you showing up. And today is Friday. We were headed out to Alabama. We just crossed into Alabama state lines. And we are with the famous Chris Simmons.
Heading out.
Extraordinaire. And we're going to do some center fire shooting. And we are headed to the Alabama, what is it called?
Precision Rifle Challenge.
Precision Rifle Challenge. My southern draw buddy over here.
Southern draw.
So hopefully we do well. We'll see. It should be fun. Showing up early Friday in order to, you pay an extra $50. You can use the range to 0 and collect data for your rifle. So we'll see how that works out. And then tomorrow we will be
burning some powder.
And killing worms.
The big guns. It's anything like the MPA match.
If it's like the MPA match, I'll be killing worms. All right, stay tuned. All right, started off on number 9, stage 9, rock rack. So, upon start, signal shooter will use the designated rock to engage the plate rack with 1 round each from left to right. The shooter will then take up a prone position on the plate rack or on the platform and re-engage the plate rack with 1 round each from left to right. The target was 4/10 wide, and the plate was at 750 yards. One thing good was it was only one distance, so starting off a stage, ended up getting a 6 out of 10. Not too bad, so dropped 4 right off the get-go.
Impact! Impact!
All right, this was stage 10. It's called Ridgetop Assault. Upon start signal, shooter will use the designated positions and engage the targets from left to right with 1 round each. Hit or miss. After 2 rounds have been fired, the shooter will move to the next position. So the targets were a 66% IPSC and a 50% IPSC, and they were at 668 yards. I was holding 3.4 for the dope. Ended up getting a 9 out of 10 on this one. All these stages that you're going to see are 90 seconds. So, not too bad. 9 out of 10. Dropped 1.
Impact! Impact! Impact!
That was wasting time.
Impact! Impact! Rick, I got you for 9.
All right, from here we moved over to stage 1 called the helo. Description: upon start, signal shooter will take a modified prone position in the front of the helo and engage circles from left to right and then the IPSC on the hill with 1 round each. Shooter will then move to the back of the helo and take up a modified prone position, re-engaging the targets in the same order. So we had a target at 287 yards. That was an 8-inch circle. 323 yards, a 6-inch circle. 332 yards, an 8-inch circle. 328 yards, a 6-inch circle. And 662 yards, a 45% IPSC. Ended up getting 5 on this one. Didn't shoot so well, but it was a fun little stage. All right, we got Chris Simmons up on stage 2 called Big and Small. Upon start signal, shooter will engage the big target. If the target is hit, shooter will move to the small target. If the target is missed, shooter will re-engage the big target. Hit or miss after the second target engagement, the shooter will move to the next target array. Engage target arrays from near to far. First set of targets was at 237 yards, 8-inch in a 5-inch circle. Next target was 513. It was a 10-inch and 6-inch circle. 540, 10-inch and 8-inch circle. 574 yards, 10-inch, 8-inch circle. And 610 yards, a 10-inch and 9-inch circle. So Chris did well here. I ended up getting a 9 out of 10 on this one, so I was pretty excited. The temperature at the time was 76 degrees. A lot of fun, a lot of wind, a lot of switchy wind. And paying close attention to that flag right before you get up is a huge importance. Spotting shots from other people shooting is definitely a huge advantage if you have a spotting scope or some binos. Just kind of seeing where that dust or splatter off the target is going definitely helps. But here's me running the stage. Fun stage. I dialed it all. First targets was at 0.5. Then I went to 2.2. Then 2.4, 2.6, and 3 mils. The whole time I was shooting, started off at 0.1 for wind hold. And then as I went out, it was 0.2, 0.3, all the way out to 610. So, hope this stuff helps. It was nice. It was on a prone position, so it was a little bit easier. But definitely a tough match. I felt good, though. Felt good at the end of the day. I felt like I did a lot better than I did at the MPA match. Things started to click. And in my mind, I was pretending it was more of a 22 rimfire match, which helped me be more comfortable behind the rifle. Seemed to help out. And I don't know, just trying to get more proficient at this whole centerfire stuff. All right, stage 3, rock vehicle assault. Upon start signal, shooter will take up the modified prone position and engage the targets in and around the 3 vehicles with 1 round each from left to right and near to far. The wind was 4 to 9 miles an hour. We had targets at 581 yards. It was a 9-inch and a 10-inch circle. Then we had a target at 592, which was a 45% IPSC. And then a sedan. It was at 638 yards with the 12-inch circles. And at the van was really cool. It looked like the A-Team van because we were actually at the A-Team range. So that was kind of cool to have that. It was at 687 yards, and the van had a 12-inch circle and a 45% IPSC. My holds were 2.7, 3.1, and 3.5 with wind holds of 0.2 and 0.3. And this was my first clean stage of the day. Ended up getting an 8 out of 8, so I was super excited. All right, we're on stage 4 called the Trump Wall Mover. This was a mover that was at 457 yards. I needed to dial 1.8, and then what I did was the lead edge, I held 1.2, so I actually got a 9 out of 10 on this one, and I think I burned this down. So upon start signal, shooter will take up a position on the Trump wall and engage the mover, which was a 12-inch head with up to 10 rounds. Any position or port may be used. This one felt good. Burn it down. It was 78 degrees at the time. All right, stage 5 was called the shoot house. Description: upon start, shooter will use 5 shooting selected positions to engage the near then far IPSC targets with 1 round each. 670 yards was a 45% IPSC. 722 yards was a 66% IPSC. So what I did was I basically put 3.4 on my scope, which made that a 0, and then I did a 0.5 hold, which was 700 to 722 yards. I dialed in a half of mil of wind and ended up getting a 5 out of 10 on this one. This was a little tricky because you were inside of this box and you couldn't tell when wind was changing. You couldn't feel it on your back or your face or your side of your head or anything. So that made it a little bit more tricky, but it was a fun stage, and it was 82 degrees. 5 out of 10.
It was good.
There was stage 6, which I didn't record because it was up on top of a Conex box, so I couldn't get any videos. That one was the long range stuff. Ended up getting a 6 out of 10. Tough wins I wrote down on my board. We had 800 was the closest target, 900, 1,000, 1,100, and 1,200. Ended up holding 8/10 of wind at the 1,200. So we did have some wind, not too crazy, but the wind was tough and shifty. This one is stage 7. This is called the Hart boat. I got a 4 out of 8 on this. This was a lot different shooting center fire compared to rim fire on these boats, and this boat was rocking and rolling. But upon start signal, shooter will take up a prone position on the boat. Shooter will engage diamond and then circle with 1 round each. Hit or miss. Shooter will alternate diamond, circle until the diamonds have been engaged. That was at 313 yards, the diamond plate rack, and then at 400 yards was a 10-inch circle. That was a tough one. 4 out of 8. All right, we're at stage 8 called the Hart barrel and roof. Description: upon start signal, shooter will take up a position on the barrel and engage the targets from near to far and left to right at the terminal berm. Shooter will then take up a position on the roof and engage the targets in reverse order, right to left at the terminal berm and far to near. Entire body and gear must be on the roof. So we had a 4-inch circle at 321 yards, a 6-inch circle at 330 yards, 8-inch square at 421, 6-inch square at 421, and a 6-inch square at 421 yards. So basically, we had a 0.95 was a hold or dial, and a 0.1, not 0.11, So we had basically a 1, and then a 1.6. Targets were small, a little bit of wind. Wind was 4 to 5 miles an hour. And ended up getting a 10 out of 10 on this one. Felt nice and stable, especially on the roof with that big Armageddon, the big ass Armageddon gear bag. So that definitely helped.
Large circle. Impact. Impact. Number 16 for 17 for the day.
77 seconds.
All right, so from there we moved on to stage 19 because we actually were shooting 12 stages in the first day. So this is stage 19, bowling pins. Upon start signal, shooter will take up a position on the trailer and engage the targets from near to far with 2 rounds each. The front of the trailer must be used for primary position. I tried bringing 2 big bags up there to get nice and stable. This was a crap show. Basically pooped the bed on this one. I ended up writing on my board here, damn it. I got a 1 out of 10. There was 5 different distances, 420. These were all bowling pins, so they were kind of narrow and tall. And I was going off the left, then I was going off the right, pretty much on every one of them. So every time I tried to correct, I was on the other side of the dang target. So we had a 420 yards, a 536, 582, 627, and 750 yards. I had held 0.2 going out to 0.3, 0.3 again, and 0.4, then 0.5 for wind holds. And it seemed like every time it was left, every time it was right. So that stage didn't go well. This guy here used the a tripod in the back, which seemed to be a lot more stable than stacking 2 of the big-ass bags together. So there you go. And now we're on stage 20 called pipes. I was the first one up on this one. This was 8 rounds total. Upon start signal, shooter will use 4 of the 6 shooting selected positions to engage left, then right squares. We had 2 targets out there. First target was at 686 yards, 15-inch square, and then 688 yards, 12-inch square. Ended up getting a 5 out of 8 on this one. I wrote down need to hold 0.2 more for a total of 0.7. So due to the wind and all that fun magical stuff that moves your bullets around, I needed to hold 0.2 more. So ended up finding it at the end. Basically, I think I had a 0.5 mil left dialed in my scope and needed to hold 0.2 more. So there you go. That was day 1 of an amazing match at the Alabama Precision. I will be putting out day 2 in the next couple days, but if you guys get a chance, sign up for these matches. They're great. Huge shout out to all the sponsors that helped do it, but 18 Precision,
This is more important
thanks for
than
running
shooting right here.
running the
Having
match.
fun,
It's a great
hanging
time.
out. We got dudes on today. We're all duded out. Dudes. What lake are we at? Smith Lake?
Turtle Lake.
Yeah, there's a ton of turtles everywhere down there. Actually, there's some right there.
Just keep coming out of the
They're
water.
everywhere. A couple over there.